Afternoon, everyone, and congratulations for making it thus far. So I'm Marco Sitali from the Geological Survey of Namibia. I'll be speaking to you today on how Namibia is enhancing earthquake monitoring with an integration of IMS stations. And my presentation will be outlined as follows. And my presentation will be outlined as follows: a brief introduction about Namibia seismicity and the network itself, some progress that we have made, and collaborations. Well, Namibia seismicity is considered low to moderate, and it has been monitored since the early 1900s. However, this was done mainly by international seismological centers like the USGS and the IAC. And with the advent use of social media these days, earthquake information started to spread very much faster, and the survey could not keep up with this trend. So the survey has two sections that deal with earthquake monitoring. One is the seismological network of Namibia, and on the other hand is the CTBTO affair. So under the National Seismological Network, this is where we deal with the live seismic network, which is our permanent stations. And then here we do data acquisition, seismic data acquisition, archiving, and management, with an intention to create monthly seismic bulletins and also populating our national catalog. And on the other hand, the CTBTO phase now is mainly to operate and maintain the IMS stations to ensure that there is continuous transmission of data to the IDC. So the map here just illustrates the different sites or locations of the seismic stations. And the site highlighted in light green, that's where we have the IMS stations. So this is just the physical setup in the field. That's how our stations look like. And our data transmission is in real time. It's being transmitted by a local network from the station to a centralized point where us as end users are able to access the data. So how does Namibia seismicity look like? So the two maps here show data collected in a span of more than 2 decades. So the map that is having sparsely distribution of events, it's data collected from 2013 and earlier. So if we observe on this map, we could have an impression that there was low seismicity at the time. However, this is not the case. What was happening here, it was because we had a dysfunctional network at the time, and there was actually no data being recorded. And this time, we're not also familiar to work with IMS stations. The map next to that is data, again, from 1910 to 2023. So we can observe that it's much populated now, and that's because we've been incorporating the IMS data from the IMS stations. Namibia seismicity is mainly clustered in the northwestern part. There have been some studies suggesting that there is active fault system in the northwestern Namibia, and that's why you can see some clusters of events there. Besides seismic data analysis that we perform in the office, we also go out there to create awareness, mainly about seismology or the science of seismology, and also just to create awareness about the field or geoscience. So these images here is just were extracted mainly from some of those engagements that we perform or undertake from time to time. Continuing with community awareness, we also conduct intensity surveys, especially in 2021, where we registered an event with quite a significant magnitude, local magnitude of 5.6. We can see that there were actually some damages that were incurred in some of the buildings close to the epicenter. So this is just a compilation of seismic data statistics again, extracted from the two maps that I've previously shown. You can see that in the early 2000s, seismicity was quite low. As I've highlighted, that this was just due to the lack of data. And after that, we can see a pickup, a slight increase in the frequency of seismicity, and this is attributed mainly because we collect data, we put up temporary deployments, and then we analyze the data, and this is why it has improved over the years. And here's just to show the magnitude profile. The highest event Namibia has ever recorded was magnitude 5.6, and this was, the first one was in 2009, and the recent one is 2021. And the highest, the most magnitudes that we record is mainly 4 and below. Despite some challenges, there have been some progress that we've made by incorporating the automated phase picking system using SISCOM, which was introduced to us here by the CTBTO. I'm not sure if you can read those text messages. There were some of the love notes we'd get. Even in the middle of the night, somebody would text you. I felt something. But unfortunately, that time, we couldn't access the data remotely. Although we still can access the data remotely now, but at least we get notified when an event occurs. So this is quite a progress that we've made, and makes our work much easier. This is just an official page for our country profile. We host 2 IMS stations, infrasound and auxiliary seismic station. This is just how the facility looks like in the field, and that's an auxiliary seismic station. I'll give you a short story, what happened to us in 2018, why it's important to be part of this global cause of the IMS network. So the CGTN, I would like to apologize to our Chinese colleagues. This is not personal. It's a story that has actually given us some lessons. So in 2018, CGTN released an article that predicted that there will be an earthquake in Namibia. As usual, they contacted us, they inquired. The easy way was to say, no, that's not true. How can they predict? Coincidentally, after 2 years, a big earthquake hits Namibia with magnitude 5.6. And our relationship was so compromised with the public because of that article. So, and this event was picked up by all the global stations, as highlighted there, and our local seismic stations as well. Well, just like any other institution, we have some challenges, but we are more focused on addressing those challenges, and we believe that working with other NDC make things much easier as you exchange your expertise and knowledge. And these are some of our collaborations that we continuously work with. Teamwork again, I would like to quote Helen Keller, who said, alone we can do so little, but together we can do so much. I'm a strong believer of teamwork. I don't think I can do anything alone. And lastly, I put this slide intentionally, just in case we have people still indecisive about their next holiday destination. Namibia won't be a bad idea, trust me. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for the interesting presentation. We have time for a couple of questions in the audience.
How are the plans in Namibia for deployment of more stations, a growing network?
Remember the slide about challenges? Anyways, we are planning to expand our network. At the moment, we already have constructed 2 stations, but in general, we are targeting to have 20 stations, and that should be finalized in the next 3 years, 3 to 5 years.
Thank you for the presentation. I was just wondering about the nature of the seismicity. Is it mostly single events, or do you see swarms or clusters in space and time?
The ones highlighted in the catalogs are single events. However, we have a separate catalog for seismic swarms, so we do not combine them.
Concerning the rumors about strong earthquakes at the catalog you have to copy, is there any possibility to dig from archives to find historical seismicity if ever strong earthquakes have occurred in the area?
Well, our catalog dates back from 1910, and these are mainly extracted from the ISC bulletins. And in that catalog, the highest magnitude, I think it was 1954 or so, it was a 5.4. And that was not instrumental. Apparently, it was an intensity survey that was done. So.
One comment regarding the challenge that you mentioned for the last slide. Tomorrow we'll have this opportunity to talk about the NDC's cooperation. So I was going to invite you to attend the last one for tomorrow at 5 to 6 in that room.
5 to 6, okay.
Yeah, I'm talking about. So this is a comment regarding the last slide, talking about the challenges. Tomorrow we'll have this panel regarding the NDC's collaboration. So if you may, please join us for that, and then you can exchange your ideas on how to have the regional cooperation or collaboration for the other NDCs. Thanks.
Thank you, that's well noted.
Okay, thank you. We have a couple of minutes. I receive one question, I think is for the first talk. I can read it to you if you would like to address it now.
I can go.
Yeah, thank you.